good morning, everyone. It is Morning Coffee 240, and obviously I'm somewhere else. But anyways, just thought I'd let you know that this is Morning Coffee 240, and Putin has finally weighed in on the Charlie Kirk assassination. Because it was an assassination. It wasn't a murder. It wasn't a killing. It was an assassination. Why? Because he was the leader of a prominent right-wing organization called Turning Point USA. So yes, it was an assassination. Let's please identify it as such. Anyway, point is that Putin finally weighed in and said that he believes that the killing of Charlie Kirk has caused a deep rift in the United States. And I tend to agree with him on that. It shows that there is clearly a marked difference between the left and the right in this country. The left being fully communist, and the right being patriotic, nationalist. A nationalist, by the way, is not a bad word. That's a good word. Some people try to equate nationalism with National Socialism, but they're two totally different things. Nationalism is typically for smaller government, whereas National Socialism is for larger government. So let's not get our terminology conflicted here, folks. Let's keep things straight. Anyways, on to my point. Putin was saying that he believed it was a deep rift in the United States, which is absolutely correct. And he also took a swipe at Trump, who called Russia a paper tiger. That was not a good idea, Trump. That was not a good idea. But in any event, my former enemy, Vladimir Putin, he was my former enemy in the Cold War, and hopefully now an ally in the fight against global terror and the fight against child trafficking and child exploitation. He remarked that no, Russia is not a paper tiger. Far from it. In fact, in my humble opinion, as somebody that served in the military, I think Russia has shown great restraint in the Ukraine war. Because I can tell you right now, if it was up to me, the Ukraine war would have ended in 3 days. I'm not even kidding. I would have ended that shit in 3 days. But Putin, I believe, is trying to be diplomatic. He's trying to give Zelensky every possible reason to back out of this and to turn the land over to Russia, because it belongs to Russia. Remember, folks, this land was given to Russia by Catherine the Great in 3 parts. This is well documented in history. It is not my opinion. And so the land does in fact belong to Russia. And you say, well, how the hell was Ukraine formed? Ukraine formed was based on a lie. What NATO had done was they said that there was people in the area of Ukraine that wanted independence from Russia. Nothing could be further from the truth. It was an absolute lie. And this is based on historical fact. And even more recently, when the media went into Ukraine and said, hey, are you guys Ukrainians? They said, no, we're Russian. So the left-wing media got egg all over their face, thinking that these people wanted independence, which is what the story was, Oh, well, these people wanted independence, so we have to make a new country called Ukraine. Well, that's balderdash, as they used to say years ago. It's balderdash. There was never such a thing. What NATO wanted. They wanted land close to Russia, I guess to just, I don't know, intimidate them perhaps. But they used the confusion of the old Soviet empire crumbling as an impetus to pull this this facade, this fraud. And none of it is based on truth. Absolutely none of it. And so now you know what Ukraine is. Ukraine is nothing but a fake country. It was never real. It was never meant to be real. And NATO saw an opportunity to take land, and they took it. And that's simply it. And of course, as we all know now, Ukraine is a harbor of guns running, people running, human trafficking, gun running, just drugs. I mean, bioweapons. It was, what was it, up to 20 bioweapons in Ukraine, bioweapon stations in Ukraine. Good God. What were they concocting? Oh yeah, they were going to create a bioweapon, according to Russia now, they were going to create a bioweapon that was 10 times more powerful than mRNA technology and would have wiped out the entire population of Russia. And obviously Russia could not allow that to happen, and so they invaded. Simple as that, folks. You can take a map of the targets that Russia hit in the Ukraine war, and you can take a map of all the Ukraine bioweapon facilities, and you can lay the maps on top of one another, and they are a perfect match. Is that a coincidence? No, that's by design. Because the first things Russia hit when they invaded was the bioweapons labs. There's a reason for that, because they didn't want the Russian people wiped out, and that's pretty sickening. But anyway, now the point is that Russia is incensed a little bit, but I agree with Putin's assessment at this point, and so hopefully better things will come in the future. Anyway, that's 2:40 in the can. And we're going to have a nice day, and you have a nice day, and a better tomorrow. Bye. Oh boy, look at that. Isn't that great? Yeah, let me try this dating thing again, because apparently the video was like 30 minutes long, and it started having video anomalies and shit, and started looking like crap. So let's retry this. Okay, in my era of dating, you would basically, the first date would not be anything but getting to know that person. There would be no holding hands, there would be no kissing, then there certainly wouldn't be no sex. The second date would be where you would hold hands. The third date, you would meet the parents. If you didn't meet the parents in the first and second date, you would definitely meet them on the third. Then and only then, you might get a kiss on the third date. And then, of course, the fourth date would progress from there. But that's how it worked back in my day. Now, in 2025, it's a little bit different. The dating websites are foobarn, because all they want is to keep you on their dating website. They do not want you to meet in real life, because they lose money if you meet in real life. So they try to keep you on the dating website, and they consider a date to be texting another female. Well, I'm sorry, that's not a date. A date is where you meet somebody in real life. You go to a movie, go to a bar even. Of course, I don't recommend that, but go to a movie, a bar, go to go shopping, whatever, or just spend a quiet moment at home. But the point is that dating in 2025 is very, very different, because with all this trans shit, you don't even know if you're getting a real female. So you have to ask them, hey, are you female from birth? Which sucks. Or you got to go around and grab their belt loop and pull it down a little bit to see if they've got the two dots. If they got the two dots, they're female. If they don't, run like hell, because it's a guy. And some of these women are that I Googled, for trans, they look just like female. You can't tell the difference, hardly. Scary shit. Anyways, but furthermore, in 2025, women have all the rights in a court of law if it's her word against yours. So, in order to date, you must have at least 2 witnesses or a police officer, and you approach this woman and you say, hey, I'm interested, blah, blah, blah. And then things progress from there, because otherwise, she could take you to court, claim you said you was going to assault her or something, and she would win billions of dollars, and you're in the poorhouse and in jail. So a little bit different dating plan between what I did in my day and what y'all are doing today, because dating today sucks. I mean, how do you even approach somebody without 2 witnesses? It's kind of hard. Kind of hard to do that shit. So good luck to anybody that's trying to date, because it's damn near impossible these days. Because all she has to do, man, is go to court and say, yeah, man, he threatened me, he did this, and it's her word against yours. And guess whose word the court's going to take? Yeah, they're going to take hers. In fact, they're more than likely to get her the best lawyer money can buy, while you have to sit there and defend yourself in family court. That sucks. Anyway, tried to shorten this video down, because I had video anomalies, and it was 30 minutes long. So we'll try to shorten this down and see if we can't get this uploaded. Let's try this again. All right, y'all have a pleasant day and a better tomorrow. Bye.